Hey guys, and welcome to the video on how to set up a catch-hook or a webhook in Zapier, which basically you can use to send data via API to your clients, say if they come through a Facebook lead ad or something like that. To kind of show you how it works, I'm going to use a Facebook lead ad as an example, but if you're using quiz software, anything like that, you can do it this way too. If it hasn't got its own app inside Zapier, you can use a catch hook, which I'll show you how to do after I've shown you how to do just a standard webhook to your client from a lead ad. Okay, so if you're doing it from a lead ad, you want to get the Facebook lead ads app up. It's a premium app, so I think you've got to be on the premium plan, just so you're aware. So you want to select this one here, and then you want to select the event as new lead. You want to press continue. It will go into your account, where basically if you haven't set up already, you just got to log into Facebook, and that will set you up with the account. I've done this already. And on the trigger page here, you want to select the page that you're going to be running it from, and you want to select the form that you've got, the form that's going to be generating the leads for you. Again, if you're using something else other than Facebook lead ads, you can set this up pretty simply as the trigger. And then you want to test your trigger. I haven't got any data going through this lead form yet. So when you want to put in test data through a lead form, you can go to developers.facebook.com/tools/lead ads testing. You select the page and you select the form that you want to send a test lead through. And then you pop in your data here. This is just one of my dummy Facebook lead ads. And then you just press next. And then just press submit. Once you've pressed submit, that should be there in your Facebook lead ads. So you just want to wait a couple of seconds and then press test trigger. And that should bring through all of your data. So that's done that. Cool. So then you just want to press continue. So then the next stage, this is where the webhook comes in, okay? Now this is a premium one as well, and you want to search for Webhooks by Zapier and select that. And the events, as a few events, normally when you're posting data to a client's API, you'll want to choose the post option. Press continue. Now, this is the kind of the tricky part. Clients will have different CRMs, so there's not a one fits all kind of thing. The first thing you want to do is you want to speak to your client and get the API posting document from their tech guy. Now they should send that across, and now what that document should have is it should have a posting URL, and it should have an API key, which I put in down here. Those are the two main things that you want, and that's how you send data to a client CRM basically. And then what it should have is the fields that you need to send data to, which is like this. And they'll have it properly formatted so that it's the correct field that you're sending it to. Okay. Notice that this has got a capital on the N. This is how you send data to Go High Level. So make sure that you get all the fields they want data for, and then you can map your fields in your Facebook lead form or your quiz to their fields, okay? It sounds harder than it is. Once you've done a few and you get used to it, it's pretty simple. So my example here is going to be to Go High Level. This is a CRM that marketers use, but you can just replace this with whatever they send you for their posting URL, okay? So next up, I'm just going to go and just double check this. So this is the dummy data still. We want the proper data. So to get, obviously it's taking a little bit longer, so I'm going to go to load more. Okay, we'll just use the dummy data for now then. So you want to go back to actions. So that is the posting URL for High Level. Their way of their API keys are very different to what other CRMs use. So normally CRMs would be something like API key, something like that. High Level uses authorization header. And then before the API key, they put bearer for some reason. Normally you don't need that, you just copy and paste in your API key. So high level give you an API key here, but you had to put bearer in front of it for some reason. Yeah, but with your client API, usually it will just be API-key, and then the API key pasted in this bit here. Okay, so I've put in the fields already. These are the the standard fields in high level for email, first name, last name, phone, and tags. So email, and you just want to go and map from your Facebook lead ad, like so. Now here's interesting thing. I've got a full name coming through in my lead ad, so I'm going to want to go and just go into formatter, because sometimes they won't have a field for full name, so you'll have to spit out the first and the last name. So we can do that quite simply by just putting in formatter by Zapier, going to event text, transform, and it should be, you should find split text, and then the input is going to be the full name. Separator, I just leave this empty because then it will just be a space, and it will just separate after a space. And normally I go all as separate fields, press continue, test action, and it should bring me 5 outputs here, I believe. Yep. And then here you can go back to your post, go back to action, and then you can go output 1 is the first name, and then the last name I'll just go output. I'll put output 2 space, output 3 space, output 4 space, output 5. So normally it should be 1 and 2. Some people have long-winded names, so like three words for their last name. Very, very rarely, but just do that in case. That'll be fine. Then you want to make sure you put in the phone number, and then your tag you can just put opt-in, something like that. So that's the very basic webhook. You may have more fields to map, in which case make sure you put them in. You may also want to do some UTM tracking as well, so you can do this like so. So you have to create these fields in your high level, and if you are putting this into your own high level, you can make custom fields and you can map data from the lead hook, the lead ad, straight there, like so. You can send this across to your client as well, because then if they do any kind of reporting back to you of people who have converted, they can actually send these UTMs back to you as well. It won't mean much to them, but it will mean something to you, and you can see which kind of campaigns are doing the best and getting the best results for your clients as well, more importantly. Now in the lead ad, you can get this pretty easily. They do campaign name, ad set name, ad name, which is all good. And that comes through automatically. If you're sending traffic from a Facebook ad to a landing page, you'll need to add these UTMs to your link in your Facebook ad, and then have hidden fields on either your quiz software or form software to bring through that data to the CRM. If you want to do it, it's up to you. I always do. So that's that all done. Now let me just check one thing. So I've just double checked up here, and the new data has pulled through from my test that I sent through. So I'm going to use that because it's got actual a phone number in there, and I don't believe the API would work if there was text in the number field. So we can just go and double check this. Let's just check that this. Okay, cool. Let's retest this action. It's got new data in, so we want to separate this out. Cool. That's that. I'm just going to take off output 5. Cool. So first name and then marketing tech guru, so you see how that works. Numbers in there. Okay, cool. So this is all good. Authorization is there. So this is where you want to test it, and it's important to see what the response is. You want to make sure it's a success. So it looks like it's created. It looks like it's created everything correctly. It's been given, the contact has been given an ID inside high level. So let's have a quick look inside our high level and see if the contact has been created. Now, if you're doing it with your client CRM, you want to have contact with them and just be like, okay, I've sent through a test lead. Can you check that you've received it? And is all the data populating in the fields that you want? That's very important to do, that you that you ask them. So this is coming through to the correct sub account, and it's bringing through the correct data. You can add in more if you so wish. Bringing through the tag as well, which is important. So that's all good. So you're getting all populating correctly and nicely. So that's working brilliantly. That would be a successful test lead. They would let you know, and then you can crack on with sending more traffic to them, basically. Now, let's go and have a look at how you would do this if it was from a catch hook, in case you haven't got the apps in Zapier, so you can just do it off an app. We can do it off a catch hook, so I'm going to show you how that works now. Okay, so here is how to do it via catch hook. Okay, so what a catch hook is, so basically what you want to select in Zapier is, again, Webhooks by Zapier, exactly the same thing as we did for the post, but this time we're going to do it as a trigger. And you want the event to be a catch hook. So you've got a few here, you want catch hook, yeah? Press continue, you can ignore this, press continue again, and this will give you a kind of a URL. Now this URL, you can put it anywhere and it will grab all of the data that hits it and bring it into Zapier. So the example I'm going to use is inside high level. So let's go to automations, okay? And let's create a workflow, okay? Continue with from scratch. So let's say we do this off a tag. So it's triggered off a tag, add filters, we got tag added, and it's opt-in, okay? So basically this is when you send the lead into high level, comes in. You can do whatever you want. You can make sure it's a good lead by sending out emails, SMSs, just to ensure the number's correct, anything like that. Or the lead just comes into high level and then you can send it straight on to your client CRM. So what I would do here is whenever you want to do it, so you could have a load of stuff before this, or you could do it straight away. It's totally up to you. It's just how it works. We want to go to Webhook, and we want to post it, and we want to go grab this link. And basically we want to post it into this catch hook. Now what this catch hook will do is the data, so the lead will come in and it will hit this node, and every single bit of data high level has on this contact will be sent to this webhook. Okay, now I'm just going to publish this and I'm going to save it. I'm just going to call it demo catch hook. And again, this is if your apps aren't in Zapier. There are other ways to do webhooks and catch hooks. I just find Zapier is quite an easy way to do it. So again, just to explain, lead gets sent to high level. So you could be doing it from Facebook, lead ads, whatever. But it comes into high level. You do whatever you want to do. So there could be more in front of this, or more nurturing before you send it on to your client, or you just want to get the leads to your client straight away. This is basically a very similar example to the Facebook lead form in Zapier. This is basically if your quiz software or form software or whatever is not inside Zapier. This is how you do it. So you send it into your CRM or wherever you're sending it, and then you can just do a catch hook. This collects all the data. So let's go and try this out, okay? So I've got a contact in here already. I've added a bit more data, so more data comes through, so I can show you how it works. I'm going to go and add them to that campaign. Just pretend that it's come from wherever you're generating the leads from. So someone's just filled out your form or your quiz, and this is this person, and they've been given the tag that you've assigned, and it's triggered this campaign, and they're being sent to the client now. Okay, add to campaign, and that should be done. We'll give it about 5 seconds before we can test the trigger. And let's test the trigger now, and it should all come through. So yeah, so here we go. So we've got all the UTMs. So this is where what kind of campaigns they come from. We've got their name, we've got their email, phone, any tags that have come through, their address, city, state, country, date created, postal code, company name, company website. So this is all good stuff. And contact source. Cool. So what I'm going to go and do now is I'm going to go delete this lead so we can see it come through in properly in real time. So that's been deleted. We've got the data in Zapier now, so we can use this to populate our post. This is exactly the same process as before. So this is the post to your client's API, CRM. So we've just changed the Facebook lead form here to a catch hook, and that basically replicates what the lead form does. Again, we're going to go through event post. That's correct. Now the action, there's quite a bit more to do on this because we've got a bit more information. So let's go company name and website as well. Cool. And this is contact source. So let's go and start populating. We have a lot more data to populate, which is cool. So it will give you a bit more of an idea of how a longer webhook would be. So first name and then last name. Then you want to go and find the phone number, which is here. UTM source. Then if there's a lot of data coming through, you can just start searching it just to make it a bit easier. So it's the main campaign. Marketing automation was the audience. Always do it in the search field. It was ad for, and the campaign was on Facebook. Then city, state, postal code, and then address 1, company name. Now obviously because this is high level to high level, as the example, these are all the same kind of custom fields. You may not have that. Your custom fields may differ to your client's custom fields, so you just need to make sure you map them correctly. It's a little bit easier when they're all the same, or they're all like the same names, because it's easier to map. But just bear that in mind. Yours will probably be slightly different to what theirs is. So yeah, just make sure that you're mapping the correct fields to their correct fields, okay? So that's a fully mapped webhook right now. We go in JSON again, just to give you a little bit of information. Some CRMs speak in the JSON language. Some CRMs speak in the XML language. It's just the way it's written in the script. There's no script writing here because Zapier does it in the back end. But in your API document, there should be something on this saying if it's JSON or XML. Okay, so make sure you select the correct one. Most are JSON, I would say. I've had to deal with XML a few times. Not an issue at all. Just a little bit different. So that's all fully mapped. Again, we've got the authorization and the API key. You are going to need to probably amend this depending on what their CRM wants, but it's normally API_key, and then just the API key. Okay, cool. So let's retest the action. So the contact's gone. Let's just make sure this all goes through correctly. So it looks like that's success. So that's perfect. Let's go check if everything's come through correctly. And this, for all intents and purposes, is the client's CRM. So they'd get this test lead through, they'd go in, they'd double check. It's got the first name, last name, perfect. Email, phone, good stuff. Contact source didn't update, so that's interesting. Have to figure out, this is when you have to figure out why that was. So the contact source was here. Let's see what it came through as. Okay, so I probably just change that to source and then go to continue and then retest action. If it is correct, it should update the contact that's already there, because it's going to match the phone number and the email. So let's have a look. No, okay, cool. We'll leave that for the time being. I obviously don't know what that field is. And then street address, city, state, postal code didn't come through either. So that's something we'd want to go and look at to make sure that that's coming through. The website's come through, and none of these have come through. Let's have a quick look as to see why that might be. So it looks like these may have capitals, and that's literally something as small as that can affect the webhook. So make sure you have got the correct punctuation on there. Postal code, I would have thought that is correct. But we'll see. Okay, cool. Let's go and retest the action. I see. Custom fields are slightly different in high level from my memory, so we'll leave that for the time being. But yeah, that is how you set up your webhook. You'll then want to go and troubleshoot with the client, as we've just done, see which fields aren't going through, and then you would go and check that you've named them correctly. And also another thing that you want to troubleshoot is if they're coming through in the correct format. Some may be sending numbers through instead of text, or text instead of numbers. That can affect things, and that's something you want to work with their tech team about. But yeah, that is how you set up a webhook or a catchook inside Zapier. So I hope that's been helpful for you guys. Yeah, if you like the video, please give me a like. It helps me know what kind of videos you guys are wanting. If you have any comments, drop me a comment below, and I'll try my best to help you out. And yeah, finally, if you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be epic. Obviously, it would really help out the channel. And you'll be the first to know when new tutorials like this are put on. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.